then during that time, I also took a lot more mathematical class. At that time, there's no computational finance because I'm an old man. Okay. So I took other math and statistics class, not in the business school, but in the other department. After I graduated, I went to work for KPMG in this structured, in the consulting department, especially structured finance group, which they have, at that time they have a lot of clients that are issuer of those mortgage-backed securities, CMO, and asset-backed security, things like that. So our group do all the programming and modeling of all those structure. The reason for that is a lot of those issuer, they keep a residual when we do audit for their financial statement. They need someone to evaluate the residual to come up with the value. So that we do all that for them.
So what's the most? So you've been doing this a long time now. You're an expert at it. You're a PM. You've been PM for a long time. Why do you continue to do it? Like, what's the most exciting part about your job? Or I guess another way to frame it is like, what gets you up in the morning? What makes you the most excited?
Because I really like the modeling, programming, the math part of it, and I also like to do a lot of reading all this technical paper, academic paper, and it's to a point. This is kind of like my hobby, and
well, that's one of our next questions.
and this is because I'm really interested in figure out how things work and build models, and I think it's a challenge, and this is also something I like to do, and this is how it get me up every morning to come to work.
So, what do you do when you're not working?
Hiking.
Hiking.
Sometime, for example, in Taiwan during the 3.5 years, sometimes I get stressed out, and then I just go out and walk. Just walk.
So just clear your head.
Yeah. So I still do that in Hong Kong. And
do you have a favorite place to go here?
Do
you have a place that you like to go here to hike?
We have a group that every other week we hike in the peak, and sometime there's another route we hike called Dragon Back. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to join you one week.
Yeah.
When it's not too hot, I love Dragon Back. It's one of my favorite hikes.
And there's some other hiking trail in
like Taiwan.
Yeah, in New Territory, but those are really long, so I've never hiked on those. Yeah.
What is it? So we've actually never in our PM interviews never interviewed a Cubist PM from Hong Kong. So I think a lot of our employees, and when we look at like PM interviews and stuff, we think about maybe an employee who sits in back office tech and who's been here 2 years, but like has heard your name or has maybe like done work on your behalf, like in the back office, but doesn't know who you are. Like how would you describe your team? How would you describe your process? Like to someone, like just, is there anything about you or about your team that you feel like people can't understand just from like, because they sit around the world or?
Well, I can go through a process.
No, not your just more about like who you guys are. Like I know you have a co-PM, so you have an interesting PM structure.
Yeah. Okay, I do research, and my other team member also does research, and then the co-PM, actually, he was, at that time, when I was in Taiwan, he was running the whole prop department for my uncle. So I took him with me.